Hey guys, it's Amy with Cross by Amy. Welcome to another live and another event today, and I'm picking a surface on the ground because I like to be comfortable in my chair. So, yeah, Kim was up before me in the event from Kim's Rock and Race, and she's finishing up. Uh, there's so many things that people can do with this theme for today. My surface is not really heavy. Hey, Miss Tanya, thank you for getting me in the group, and thanks for having me today. Scissors. So we are in Southern Messy Crafters today. This is my first time with the group. I know it's a relatively new group. Our hostesses are Miss Tanya from Simply Monarch, Terry from Keys Crafty Ranch, and Brenda from Be So Crafty. So I would like to thank them for allowing me to be in this event. It is their challenge, Messy Crafters Challenge. It's their first one, and this time it's all about using napkins. So I went to Michael's today. I had an idea, and I went and bought all of the football themed napkins I could find. So our craft is going to involve those. And if you've been following me on my page, I had talked about not ordering from Dollar Tree and having it delivered to their store because that sucks. This is what I ordered from the store that I couldn't get from the store. So we are opening this. It is mini stacked pumpkins. Hi, Patricia. I think Trisha. You go by Trisha. So they're the stacked pumpkins, but they are the mini ones. So for anybody that's ever gotten them, I have the big ones. These are the mini ones. So it has a white one. It has one that has the 3 different colors. It has the orange, the yellow, and the white. And then there is just the solid yellow. And yes, I did buy a whole box of them. Do I care that I bought a whole box of them? No. I'm okay with it. I wasn't exactly sure if my napkins were gonna fit on these because I knew how tall they were, but I didn't know how tall each level was. So the whole thing from base to top is 24 inches. I did know that. So they just come in 3 separate pieces, which is great because we can do each of them individually and then snap them together. So I am probably not going to end up using this one because it's way too big. I feel like it would take up the whole middle section, which is where I was going to put the football. So I don't think we're going to use that. I think we are going to go with I think I'm going to use the football pattern one in the middle. I think I'm going to try this one with the yardage on this one. And I'm going to go for the referees that we don't like on the top. So we're going to see how this works. I've never decoupaged on a pumpkin. I've never decoupaged on anything that was not really round. I did do some rub-on transfers on a paper mache pumpkin, so I kind of have that experience. So this was the other one that I had picked up. It just says Go Team. So I'm not going to use either one of those for this because they're not big enough. So let's get going. So trying to find the edge of these to open them. Obviously, they are brand new. I have not used these before. So if you are new to Southern Messy Crafters, I'm pretty new. I've been following Terry and Tanya and Brenda for a while now. They've been in my events before, but I knew that they created the group. And I think Michelle from Miscellany Crafts is the one that invited me to the group. And they had openings for this event, and I said, sure, I'm not doing anything that day. Hey, Miss Anne. We are decoupaging on pumpkin pieces. And I didn't open any of these because they are brand new napkins that I just literally bought from Michael's. Luckily, so these napkins, they don't have a ton of them in them. They're just the little beverage napkins. But if you're a Michael's member, if you have a rewards thing, I don't know if I'm assuming it's for everybody because it just says rewards in the app. They have a coupon for 30% off in the app for everything. Like all regular, obviously it doesn't work on stuff that's on sale, but all regular price purchases. So these were $1.50 and they ended up being $1.04, I think. So they're even less expensive than the ones from the Dollar Tree. These were not. But all of these beverage napkins, I think, and the football ones. And I did buy 2 other ones, but I only have one of them in here. And that's my backup in case this doesn't take long. Because I have no clue how long it's going to take. So I have Mod Podge, but I also bought some of this matte medium. I don't know how it would work on a pumpkin, though. So we're just going to stick with what we know and use the Mod Podge. So I know that Terry was talking about peeling glue off. I was peeling glue out of this container because I put Mod Podge in here to use with my brush the other day, and I just clean these out and reuse them. And so I just scrape the Mod Podge out. I was able to get the big clump out, so I've been loving using this, excuse me, fan brush. So we're going to use this on the middle, I think I said, this on the top, and this one on the bottom. So I am just going to pull one of each napkin out to go with its piece that it's going on. Because I'm hoping this one I know it's going to be big enough because this is a bigger napkin. I'm not sure about the other two, but we'll work with it. So I'm just going to put these here and we'll get started. I guess I'm going to start with the base one. So, oh, okay. Well, we're definitely using more than one because it's only the 50-yard line thing is only on half of it. So that takes care of that. I wonder if this one's the same way. No, this one is not. It has the lines on both sides. So, okay. First thing I'm going to do is cut this thing in half. So I might have to use 2 of them. I have no clue. But for any of those that don't know, I'm a big football fan. Every fall during, starting late August, you will not be able to see me live on the weekends most of the time. Sometimes there are exceptions, but I try not to sign up for, I definitely don't sign up for events when I have an LSU game to go to, because that's an all-day thing. Saints games, depending on what time the game is, if it's a night game, I could do it during the day. If it's a morning game or an afternoon game, I can go live during the night. So it just depends. Like, even if I go to a Saints game, I could still make it home in time. But LSU games are a no-go. I do try to watch the events. I have earbuds that I bring with me in my bag. So I do try to watch them as much as I can. I have my charger that I use. So I try. So these, we probably will need another one because I don't want to cut this at the halfway point, really, because I want to make sure I can cover the whole thing. So I'm going to need extra, so I'm going to have to use like 4 pieces of this, so at least. Well, we'll cut one more and see how many we need. But I know I at least need 3. We might need 4. Well, we wouldn't need this many if the napkin had the lines on all of it. And I'm just putting the excess to the side. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Sometimes I keep it. Sometimes I keep it and then I throw it away. Most of the time it just ends up in the trash. Hi, Janelle. Welcome. So I am going to look to see. Let's hold these up, sort of. So I'm going to try and overlap them. Yeah, I definitely need 4. So this one. So all of these napkins, like I said, came from Michael's. If you're a Michael's Rewards member, check your app. If you go to the rewards section, there should be a coupon in there. Because it's an all the time thing. It's not a, oh, it's a once in a while thing. It's a all the time you can get if you use the coupon. I mean, you can only use it once in a day, but I mean, how many times do people actually go to Michael's more than once in a day? So, yeah, it's 30% off all regular price purchases. Now, so whatever is left of this, I am going to keep because I know it's going to have at least this much left of the napkin. You know what? We're going to start with the little one. I did cut that off, but we're just going to start with the small one because I know I'm not going to need more than one of these as far as I can tell. So let's double check this. Yeah, see, I only needed one for this. I don't see how tall. Okay. It's definitely not going to need more than a half, so I'm going to cut one of these in half. And I probably should have turned the fan off that's underneath my desk, but if you live in the South, you know that it's hot, even in the house sometimes, so I leave it on all the time. So I'm just going to keep this extra piece. I don't know what I'm using it for, but I'm going to figure something out. So let's just get all of our napkins ready. So we've got this one ready before we start putting anything together. Let's see if this one will... Okay. Let's see about this one. See if this one will work with just one. Yeah, it probably will. But I'm going to have to cut it in half, so might as well do that now. Because it's not even as tall as the whole napkin, or the half of a napkin. And these are scissors that I got from Hobby Lobby that were kind of crappy scissors. And now they work because I sharpened them with the little Fiskars sharpener thing that I got from Hobby Lobby. So these napkins are 2 layers. This one, I know I'm going to be able to get apart easily. This one, I'm not so sure. But since I cut it, I know I'm going to be able to get to the center. So, see if we can get this apart right here. Or I cut it. I think it was Terry that was talking about how it has the edges where it's like, they're like ridged. Because they I guess they seal them on the edges and not in the middle. That's how they keep them together. They're like embossed. That's what that is. I'm like, I know there's a word for it. So, get this apart. I'm going to get this apart and then I'll do the Mod Podge. I'm hoping that the ones that are the yard line ones aren't that hard to get apart. Like I said, the football ones are going to be easy to get apart because I could already see part of the second ply coming off. So these are only 2-ply. That's why they're so inexpensive. I don't want to say they're cheap because they're not. They're decent quality. But they are only $1.50. I don't know how many you get because I just threw away the package. I want to say it's like 16. So this is our referee. I'm not painting the pumpkins. They're already white, so I've heard of that. I do the good old lick your fingers thing. I'm weird. Okay, that's clogged up again. Luckily, I have my little tool here to unclog it. This little tool is like one of my favorite tools. I have a bunch of favorite tools, but I love this for unclogging glue. And I don't know how much we're going to need, so... And now I can tell it's clogged up again. And I do have painter's tape. It's just some of the clog stuff was just still in there, I guess. So, just cleaning it out a little bit more. If we get done with this in enough time and I have time to do something else, I might try the other. I might try the. Well, that was good. I might try the matte medium that I know that Kathy from CC Redesigns uses. I know it's a glue. It works as a glue and it works as a sealer. So we're just gonna see how this works. I have no clue. And I am covering it all the way from the base to where the pumpkin stem is. I'm not covering the stem though. I'm just covering the pumpkin. And I'm gonna try and work in these little sections. I don't want to overdo it. I don't think I mentioned, but up after me is going to be Michelle with Miscellany Crafts. And before me was Miss Kim with Kim's Rockin' Wreaths and Home Decor. So I've got about half of it glued. Ooh. Well, I'm praying you don't lose power. My friend Lily, I don't know exactly where Lily lives. I think she lives in Wayne County in Mississippi. I don't know what city though, but she lost her AC. So she hasn't crafted live with us in a couple weeks because of that. But hopefully, so like I'm hoping she doesn't lose her power too. Although I don't think she's at home, so she probably doesn't even have her power on right now. Okay. Luckily, this piece has the stem. The other pieces I'm not going to be so lucky with. I'm trying to press it down in the little creases as best I can. Going all the way around. It's going to be wrinkled. It's going to be wrinkled. Like, there's no getting around that. It's going to be wrinkled. But what I am going to do is I am going to cut slits in the top part where the little ridges kind of are, so that I can get it to kind of press down and stay up at the top without wrinkling too much. They're gonna overlap. There's just no getting around that. It's gonna overlap in some areas. And I want to make sure it's still wet up here because. So I'm doing every other one right now. And I am gonna have to trim this because it does have a little extra right here. I'm just gonna cut this extra off right here. It's literally just like one strip. And of course you would know I cut it too short. Okay, well, we're just gonna have to deal with it as it is. Press this one down. I might come back in with another piece of that, the white that I just cut off, to fix it. It doesn't really need fixing down at the bottom, but it needs fixing up at the top. And I'm probably going to make a bow for this, so I'm not concerned about the napkin going all the way up to the top. Hey, Miss Becky, we're Mod Podging my pumpkins that I finally got from Dollar Tree because I had them shipped to my house instead of shipped to store. Did you stay on Wendy's live until she finished last night? She was up late. Well, I mean, not for her, but for her, because she was babysitting this morning. And at the butt crack of dawn. I could go to sleep at that time if I was babysitting Emmy, because Emmy doesn't come here until afternoons. Well, not afternoons, but she usually doesn't get here until after that time. So I'm going to cut off a piece of this and just glue it over. I'm cutting off the black part to make it blend. I should have just cut the white piece off, and I didn't. That was my bad. So I'm going to put some glue on this little seam right here. And by glue, I mean Mod Podge. And try to kind of blend it as best as I can. And then for the bottom, I'm probably going to do the same thing as I did up at the top. I am adding more glue because I didn't have glue down this part when I did it. So I am going to come in with the little strips again, and I'm going to cut bigger ones. But I am just going to fold it into the pumpkin. And I might glue it in there. I'm not really sure if I am, but I might glue it in there after I get all of them flattened. So I'm just doing like every other two. So a black and a white, a black and a white. And this kind of reminds me of apple juice. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've never seen them in my store. I've seen people craft with them, and I've gotten jealous of them. And so when I saw them online, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm buying those. And so I ordered them, and I had them shipped to the store, and that was just a big old clusterfuck trying to get that from the store. I went to the store no less than 4 times, and all of the times I went to the store, I had already gotten an email saying your order's at the store, you can go pick it up, which was obviously a load of crock. I am just trimming this piece. That was the little extra piece I put on there. So I think I am just going to go on the inside with the glue and press these down with the glue, if I can. Let's get glue on both sides of this. And just paint some on the inside. I'm trying to go underneath. I've ordered from them online, but I've never done ship to store, and I will never do ship to store ever again because it was not fun. Then I had to get in touch with corporate and be like, hey, the order never got to the store because they have no way to talk to corporate from the store. And the last manager that I talked to even told me that she ordered shirts for work from like their business, like the crew website that the employees use. They delivered it to the wrong address and she never got her shirts. And I'm like, wow, that's some great customer service they have there. Hey, Miss Liz, how are you doing today? We are making this into a football themed pumpkin. So this is our referee that we don't like. It's not Beetlejuice, despite the fact that that's what it looks like. It's not Beetlejuice, I promise. I do like Beetlejuice, though. But yeah, I warned everybody on my page. I was like, don't order from... So I can't get this to stay down, so I am going to grab a... I'm looking for one of my squeegees that I cut apart. Could just use a paintbrush squeegee, but I'm just going to use this to hopefully try and smush it down. Because it keeps wanting to stick to the brush because of the bristles, which I totally understand. But I don't want it to stick to the brush and the bristles. So hopefully by using this, it'll stay down easier. I don't know. Maybe that's not the correct terminology, but this thing with this piece. This is that little piece that I added on. Okay. We got the referee. So next we're going to do the middle. And the middle is going to be the football paper. So it's this. And like I said, I'm going to come in with a bow of some sort. So I'm not really concerned about the way this looks at the top because it kind of looks funky right there. It actually kind of looks like the V in their shirts. Oh, that's a long drive. That's even longer than for me to get to Baton Rouge or New Orleans from here. That's probably how long it takes me to get to Biloxi from here. Because I don't live, so I say I'm from New Orleans, but I grew up in Metairie, which is the city next to New Orleans, and I live on the North Shore now. And I say the North Shore because we live across the longest continuous bridge over water in the United States. For anybody that doesn't know that, the Causeway Bridge in Louisiana. It used to be in the world, but I think the longest one nowadays is in Japan, I think. I think that's where the longest one is now. So we're just going to do the same thing. This one I'm really not concerned about because it is a pattern. So I'm not concerned about this part at all. Hey, Miss Carla. Bye, you mama. I don't know why I cannot get this clog to come out of this thing. I squeeze and I get some out, and then I end up getting the clog. Hopefully this will be the last time to do this today. I think I got the whole clog out that time. Or hopefully. And I say that, and then I go to squeeze it, and it's like, nah. Joke's on you. Miss Carla, I posted a new poll for next Tuesday. I don't know if you were working on Tuesday or not, but for my group. Because I had a bunch of interest in my event that I'm doing on Monday, so I decided to make it a 2-day event. Wendy doesn't have an event today, does she? Wendy doesn't do events on Thursdays. She usually does her events. She has her regular events are on Tuesdays, and then she does that religious one on Friday, and then she has a Saturday event. I'm in the Saturday one. Unless she changed her religious one. But she used to do it on Fridays. I don't know what is going on with this thing. I keep unclogging it and it keeps getting clogged. And of course I'm going to end up with my hands. Well, if you're interested in being in the event and you're not in another one, I posted a poll for Tuesday to add times. So it has time. As far as I know, it has times. I just posted it this morning, so I don't know what the heck is in here. It keeps clogging this thing up like this. I need the Hulk. It's like every time I squeeze stuff out, it's like, nope, we're going to clog back up 2 seconds later. I might have to start using that varnish. I mean, not varnish, the matte medium. Because this is ridiculous. I know that there is something in here. It's clogged up with, like, dried glue. Finally, I got it out. I did not need that much, but, I have 2 more pieces to do, so I probably will need that much. And now it doesn't want to stop coming out. I hope Miss Tanya and Miss Terry and Miss Brenda don't mind me mentioning my group in here, because if they did, I hope they've been in my events though, so they're actually in my event on Monday, all of them. So on this one, I'm not going up past this room because this is where this piece clicks on. So I'm just gonna do this part, and I'll show you what I mean. I'm starting under the rim, so I'm not gonna go all the way up that part. So I'm gonna do the same thing I did with the other one. I am going to end up tucking it in because that's how we're going to have to get it to be able to click it together. I mean, I guess I could just cut it off, but... Or I could have signed this. I don't know why I just said that. Could have just cut that off at the bottom instead of doing this. That's what I was trying to say, but that's not the words that came out of my mouth. So I'm just going to glue the whole put Mod Podge on the whole pumpkin section. And then we will put that paper on. So I'm trying to do it in the middle. Some of the pumpkin. Trying to do it in the middle so that I have enough to go all the way to the top and the bottom. Like I said, I think I'm going to have to cut a piece off to close this gap, but it's not going to be a huge one. And I'm going to wait until I get this all smoothed out before I cut that one to add on here. Because I really didn't get the ridges. I mean, I did get them somewhat, but I want to get them more on this side. So I'm going to try and come in with the end of the brush, or I'm going to come in with the brush. Kind of try and push down where the... Anybody know what those are called? The little indentations on a pumpkin? I don't know what they're called, but that's what I was just doing. And I did get glue on the table, so I'm wiping that off before it gets on my napkin where I don't want it. Well, okay, just roll onto your top. So again, this is a 2-ply. So I'm going to take the backing ply off. And I have found that if it's a 2-ply and you need to cut it, it's easier to cut and then peel the backing off, because the edges are the part that are sealed to keep them together. So that's the part that you have the most trouble getting to. Granted, I'm not having the easiest of times right now, but I also don't have any fingernails to like get this open where it is. Because I had to cut all my nails off. Okay, I'm not keeping that piece. And I don't need a wide piece. I am just going to cut a piece. And I'm saving the rest of it for something else. I don't know what that something else is, but I'm saving it for something else. So I want to make sure my glue is still wet right here, and I don't think it was. So I'm just adding some glue. And we're just going to do this. Actually, I'm going to trim this piece because it's got an edge that's like not lined up right for some reason. So we'll just make sure this is the back of the pumpkin. Okay. It's scissor time again. So this time I'm trying to do like every little crevice. And I am going to have to trim this part at the top because I can't have it going over that lip. Because if I did, then I wouldn't be able to click that other piece on easily. And I am going to come back with some of the Mod Podge over that. And no, it's not going to be smooth. But you're not going to see the top anyway when that piece is on it, so. Let's cut this one here. And I'm going to add some glue on top of this for this extra piece that I added on. That. These are our last two pieces that are overlapping. So that's what the top is looking like. I'm trying to figure out if I do want to cut it or if I want to try and smooth it out. I do want to trim this, so I am cutting a little piece of that off, and then I'm going to come in with the scissors. I can get it to flip out, and I'm trimming some of this off because I do not need this much paper shoved in the bottom. I'm only leaving about a quarter to a half of an inch. So now I have more of this to use. I might use that in a spread on my journal for fall season. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm going in with the scissors where the creases are, and I'm cutting. It's the same thing when you do any kind of paper. If you want it to lay flatter or lay flat where it has indentations like this, then you're going to want to cut it. That's just the easiest way to do it. So I am running glue along the edge here because I didn't put any on here to begin with. Just running glue along here. And because I didn't do this last time, I'm running glue on the inside so that I know it'll stick. Okay. I'm just going to start here. This is where the that extra piece is. And I'm not going to use my finger. I'm going to use this. I'm going to use this. This is that little piece of squeegee, that silicone I had. And I am going to have to go over that again because I need to put some between the two layers of the napkin. Like I said, this is not going to be as smooth as it could be, but maybe I should have left this longer than what I did. But I didn't really pay that much attention to it. I'm putting the glue on the paper on that one because that's the one that's being attached to the one that's the first layer. I hope you guys have been enjoying the napkin event. Hey, Miss Bonnie, thank you for sprinkling. I finally got my pumpkins from the Dollar Tree because my store did not have them. Even though my store, their inventory thing said they had them in stock, I went to the Dollar Tree. In case y'all missed it, I did a haul. And I showed you guys what I got. And I would have picked some of these up because I didn't get them until after I had already gone there. So I would have bought some of them if I had seen them on the shelf. But they did not have them. No, and this napkin is ripping right here. At least it's at the bottom where it's ripping. It's not at the top. Honestly, it wouldn't really matter as long as it's not on the side. Good. So I decided to do a pumpkin with football theme because I'm a football girl. Okay. This is not staying down as well as I thought it would in here. So I don't know if I just didn't get enough glue or what. So I'm going back in with some more glue. Because I need to make sure that this stays down. Although once I click this together, I probably won't take it back apart. Because I don't want it ripping apart, and it's not even going to be that tall, so. I am going to give this time to set, though. So I'm going to put that there before I do whatever I'm going to do to the top of it. Okay. Partially because it keeps doing that. So this one we're going to have to do in segments, so I'm not trimming this until I have it glued on. So these are the white ones. They do have orange. And again, I'm not going on this lip part up here. I'm going underneath that. And I'm only going to put enough on to do one of the napkins at a time. But they have orange, like all white, all orange, and then candy corn colors. Okay, I'm just making sure I have enough. Yep, that was my problem, Miss Carla. Couldn't find it. Okay. I want the yard line part to show, so I'm not even worrying about going towards the center where it connects. I'm just doing where I can see that part on my pumpkin. Does it have to look perfect? No, because it's not going to look perfect. Nothing looks perfect when you do it by hand. We are not machines. And y'all, don't even remind me that this was two ply and I didn't take the second ply off. I'm like, why is it coming off? It's coming off because it has 2 plies. And I'm gluing the first one. At least we realized it when it was only one of them. Okay, let's try this again. Some more of the Mod Podge. I don't even know where I started with the Mod Podge now. Okay, we're gonna try this again with the 40-yard line. I would suggest checking online, but also if I don't like calling stores, but I would call a store if it said they had it just to verify that they actually do have it, because my store said they had it, but it also could have been on one of the carts that was in the store or in one of the boxes, because I was opening boxes when I found stuff that I wanted. I am not opposed to doing that. If it's sitting out and it's on a shelf and it's not open, that's what car keys are for. All of these napkins that I'm using were from Michael's. And I know that the ones that have the footballs all over it were in the section with like the football game day stuff for this year. The one that says Go Team and the one that is the shape of the football and the one that is the referee, those were all from just the regular napkin section, like the party section. I probably should have remembered to do this too, and I did not. Come on, I got glue on my hands. You should be easy to rip off. Okay. We're gonna finish taking all of these napkins apart before I glue any more together. This is not coming apart as easily as I thought it would. And I think it's partly because I do have glue on my fingers. Because it shouldn't be this difficult. Although it's ripped right here on this one, so that's probably why. I don't want to do this, but I am. Come on. Stop being such a pain in my tuchus. I know tomorrow says to save those, but I'm not saving that piece. And crud, I did not want it to do that. Oh well. Football fields are wrinkly. So we're going to try and line this up with this. And obviously I'm going to need to put some more of the glue up at the top right here where they're lined up. Well, that was good. Just rip it, Amy. Where they're overlapping. Don't be like Amy. Be smooth with your napkins. Especially when it's down to 1 ply. Because it will rip. as I just showed. It totally just ripped right here too. I'm trying to fix it, but at least there's the yard line, so it's not as noticeable. Okay, we're gonna stand this up, and I'm gonna take the plies off the next two before we put any glue on the next sections. And I may have to trim that one because it probably won't need the whole section. The tried and true method. Get your fingers wet. And then do the other one. And this is mine. I'm not selling this, so I don't care if it has my DNA on it. But yes, all of the napkins and even the ribbon that I have sitting out right here, this ribbon is from Michael's. All of it's from Michael's. So we're doing pretty good with time. I am going to come back in, like I said, and put the some Mod Podge right here where it's overlapping so that it'll stay down. And I'm not doing a good job with it, but because it's ripping at the top right there. Well, it looks like I'll have enough Mod Podge. It's probably going to be just enough. Maybe a little extra, but not too much. Okay. I'm just going all the way to the base now since we know that's what I'm doing with this. And I'm lining up the 3 with the 0. And again, it's overlapping at the top. I'm okay with that. I'm just going to come in with some Mod Podge to glue the layers together. No, it needs an LSU sticker. Okay, it's coming apart. I had glue on my finger and I just touched this and I just messed it up. Can't help that though. There's only so much I can do, so. Now it just looks like there's a 3-yard line over there, and there's a 0-yard line over here. This is so out of all of the napkins that I used on these pumpkins today, this is the one that is the most rips. Like it has the most chances of ripping. It's the thinnest, I guess, out of all of them. So this is definitely going to be the back, so. I'm like, where's an edge that I could cut here? I am just literally cutting along the top edge, and I'm just ripping this napkin even more. I might have to fix that with a piece of one of this that I'm cutting off, because that's really bad right there. Again, this is the section that is, this piece is going to go on top of this, so I don't want to cover up all of, I'm not going to cover up all of this at the top because it's just going to have the piece sitting on top of it. Your husband's an Auburn fan. Uh, my dad has a friend whose son went to Auburn. Son-in-law, not son. Son went to Florida, to LSU. Son-in-law went to Auburn. And the daughter went to Loyola, so she is very smart. I think she had a scholarship to Loyola. And then she went to Texas, so she's now a Texas fan. She went there for grad school. This part looks the worst right here at the top. You know what? Football fields are made to look messy, so I'm not cutting these because they're not as long as the ones that I was doing before. They're really tiny areas. So I'm just, and if I do need a glue on the inside, I can. But most of them are, the majority of it is just to the edge. Or not even on this section right here. It's not even to the edge. So I'm just gonna get this. Put some glue under the rim. I need to keep my fingers off of the wet Mod Podge. That's how I end up ripping most of this. That's what the ripping was all about. And this doesn't have anything that's going to be clapped onto it, so it doesn't have to be perfect at the bottom. So I'll just see if I have enough time to make a bow. I'm not making a big bow, so I should have enough time. I've got 9 minutes. And like I said, I'm not making a big bow because these pumpkins are not big. And all I have is this one section left right there. This one right here that I need to fix. Okay, so we are done with the pumpkin now. And I am going to save the extra napkin pieces that I cut off because they weren't glued together, I don't think. So let's put this right side up and let it finish drying. Let the glue finish drying. This and some water with glue. And what I meant to say by that is I'm going to put this paintbrush that's got glue on it in some water so the paint doesn't, so the glue doesn't dry in the brush, the bristles. My brain is a thing, you guys, just in case y'all were wondering, and I know I have a thing that goes on the end of this, and now I've lost it. Oh well. It's not real, I mean, it is sharp, but it's not that sharp. It's not like the pokey tool I made, where you could stab yourself with that and draw blood easily. Okay. My fingers are green because I kept touching that thing with where the Mod Podge was wet. I'm just gonna make a quick one. I don't want a big one. So that one and this one. I do have the 50-yard one, you know, and I also have one with footballs, but I don't want to use the football one because I think that would be overkill. We might use this one. I'm not making a big bow. I'm just gonna grab my mini mat. This is from the Dollar Tree. I am gonna cut this piece off. Typically don't use these scissors for this because they have wire in them. And these scissors are not good for that. Let me get my other ones. Let's see. I'm not using a big one. I just did a big piece. I just didn't want that section that was open for mine because I'm just doing a messy bow. I'm not doing loops. So let's see. Let's do 5 inches or whatever this is. And this is not double-sided ribbon. It just is white on the back. I'm not going to throw that piece of ribbon away. I'm going to keep that. I wasn't really thinking that through. Put that back in there. Let's get this one open. This ribbon is from Michaels. You get 21 feet. So since we did that one at 5, I think it was about 5, wasn't it? It's just short of 5. This one is going to go with 4 1/4. And whatever I cut the first one, I just line it up with the second one. And I just cut the second one on top. Or on the other one, I was doing it on the bottom. But I just use it as my guide. And I need to get a pin for this one. Actually, I need to put it on the things because that's what I do. I put them on these things. So I'm going to make this one smaller than that one. So that one was 4 1/4. Let's do 3 1/2. Or whatever I just cut. I am going to burn this because it's coming apart. Thanks, Miss Ann. I think the football field one, the green one, came from Temu. Obviously, the one that I just said came from Michaels. This one I want to say came from Walmart, and I think that one did too. So if you've never done this before, if you can just burn the edge of grosgrain ribbon and it doesn't fray. So, and this is just a rechargeable lighter. It's electric. Oogie, oogie, oogie. Okay, well, I know I have a pin for this. Okay. I don't know where that pin went. I try not to lose these. Oh, it's underneath the lighter. I can see it now. I hope you guys liked what I did today. It's obviously something different. So, where did I do this one? Like 3 1/2? Let's do this one like 3-ish. I don't want it to be too short on the front. And then I also have the skewers that I got from Dollar Tree that I showed on my live last night. And I will probably cut one of those up and use the football as the piece that goes in the middle of the ribbon, because if you've ever watched me, that's how I roll. I make my bows, and then I usually get some kind of cabochon thing to put in the middle. That's just how I do it. You don't have to. You can dovetail or not dovetail. It's up to you. I'm gonna dovetail, even though some of these are really tiny. Because these are, I think this one is 5/8 and that one's 7/8. Then the next size up was 1 1/2 inch, and then the football field one is 2 1/2 inches. And I've learned my lesson with dovetailing. You fold them and you cut from the fold to the outer part. Because I've done it the other way where you mess it up. And you can burn it after you've done this too. Definitely you should look into them to see what they have, Miss Ann. Like I said, if the store says they have it in stock, I would look online to see if they have it, and if it says it, call the store to verify. So this is the 1 1/2 inch that I just got from Michaels. And it is wired. Those two are not. They're just grosgrain ribbons. And for anybody that's never made a messy bow, all it is 2 pieces of each ribbon, and you crisscross them. That's literally all it is. So up after me again, you guys, and Southern Messy Crafters is Michelle with Miscellany Crafts. And I don't know why I'm putting that back because I'm going to need it. And I'm just grabbing a piece of jute. This one's 2-ply that I use. I also have 3-ply, which is thicker. That's what I use to tie my ribbon, and that's why that's why I always have the little cabochon to put in the middle. Because I always do that. Okay. So I do my bows and I start with my ribbon. It's kind of like what you would do in the Bodabra, except I'm not using a Bodabra. And I'm just layering them. So this is the first ribbon I'm using, so I'm putting that on the bottom. So just crisscross your ribbon. Then this one. And this one. And then this one. And then take the two ends of the ribbon, the twine, and you're gonna like bunch this up. You don't want it to roll on each other. And then I'm gonna do a surgical knot, which just means you're wrapping the twine around twice. And sometimes my ribbons get moved when I'm trying to do this part, but you can't really help that. And then you can pull them apart after you've done this part where you tied them tighter. You just tie them and then you do that. And since these are wired ribbon, they're very easy to maneuver. The gross grain ribbons, not so much, but they're already spread out in the front, as you can kind of see. So they're not as you can see them. That's all I'm gonna say. And so that's gonna go on the front, on the top of that pumpkin. That's the piece that goes on top. So let's go watch Michelle. I'll post a picture of this. And for anybody that didn't see my live last night, these are the little skewers that I'm talking about from the Dollar Tree. So I will see you guys over in her comments. Have a good night. And I will not be on tomorrow because I've been on every day this week, but I will be live Saturday. So bye, guys.